Hi, everyone. We are kicking off Managing Ethics and Social Responsibility, which is Chapter 5. So I'm going to give you a little bit of an overview of what you're going to read in this section. If you'd prefer a break from some of the heavy reading, there's also access to PowerPoint slides that have a great overview of this chapter. So obviously what you're going to learn in this chapter are about ethics, what we know to be as right or wrong. And in the chapter, they define ethics as behavior governed by law or by free choice. So why is this important? So obviously in management, managers carry a pretty big responsibility for setting an ethical climate. The chapter talks about three different categories, or what they refer to as three domains of human action. The first is called codified law. And basically, those are values and standards that you would see written into a legal system that might be enforced by a court. The second type of category or human action is free choice, which is obviously not covered by the law. And then finally, the third is ethics, which are truly standards based on either shared principles and values, and really what we know as what's right or wrong. So you're going to learn about the different types of ethical manager behavior. And why do we even care about this? So organizations that are both ethical and socially responsible have been linked to better performance. And I definitely think that people want to work for places that have high ethics. And I think you can probably attest to the fact that most customers would switch to purchasing from a company that's both socially and ethically responsible. I know that not in every case because I'm trying to save money, but there are certain cases where I will lean towards a company or product that's more ethically responsible. So from there, you'll learn about some ethical dilemmas. You'll learn about some additional definitions of ethical approaches, as well as moral development. And you'll learn about how managers should make ethical decisions and how managers can really create a culture which is more ethically fair. And you'll also learn about what a servant leader is. So I think you'll hear about servant leadership a lot, regardless of whether you're employed right now or looking for a new profession. You'll hear a lot about corporate social responsibility, which is really an organization choosing to contribute to the common good of society and not just their organization. Chapter wraps up by talking about sustainability and what green movement is. And I think this is really interesting as it relates to Catawba. Last year, Catawba received a $200 million gift. And the bulk of that gift is to be earmarked towards sustainability. So right now there's a building under construction, but there's a lot more that's going to happen as it relates to sustainability. You may have heard of a zero carbon footprint. So there's some really great work nationally surrounding sustainability. And I'll link a quick video that was probably the most impactful to me as it relates to the definition of sustainability and why it's important to our future. Finally, you get to hear about whistleblowing, which you may or may not have experienced in the workforce. Really, this is where an employee is going to disclose something that happened that might have been either unethical or illegal. So I hope that in some way you can relate to the content in this particular chapter and take something away that you can apply to your workforce.